Alrighty, so the point of this video is to teach and explain what I think are the top things we should abide by as teachers, and then what we should also teach our students, or things students should know when using the internet and technology in the classroom. So here we go. I hope you enjoy. So let's start with some teacher expectations when using technology in the classroom. First would be to make sure that the content is relevant. So if you're going to be doing some sort of online web quest game or something like that, make sure that the content presented in class as well as the game or whatever are all tied together. We need to also make sure we have enough devices for our students. We make sure that they have access outside of class if necessary, because if we need our kids to go home and finish this Padlet or this other sort of game and they go home and they don't have internet access, then what's the point? We need to make sure there's some way to assess their understanding, because if we're going to present these things and use these different skills and technologies to better information, we need to make sure that they're being applied and that it's understood. I think it's important that we make sure that there's time limits, because we don't want our students all wrapped up in technology all the time. I think it's important to remember that it is engaging. We need to make sure directions are clearly presented and make sure that expectations are clearly presented. Without the effectiveness of all of those components together, I don't think technology could be really applied and used in a classroom like it's supposed to be used. So with my student checklist, I presented them in a way that was like a I know statement, because I want them to be like, I know this is not right. I know this is what I should and shouldn't do, and I don't want there to ever be any question of, well, I didn't know that was a thing, when I could be like, no, you agreed to this list, so this is what you know, and you agreed that you know it. And my list consists of things like, anything you put on the internet it can be out there forever. It can't be taken back. I used things like, don't put your personal information out there. I mentioned that anything that you ever look at on the internet or on a computer in general, there's always an adult watching, that there's software that can be installed that we can go back and look at the history, we can watch while they're on it, different things like that. I mentioned that cyberbullying is a huge no-go, that if they are involved in cyberbullying or know someone that is, they need to be reported immediately. It needs to be stopped. I included things like keeping the things that you view, if there are pop-ups that pop up that are inappropriate, that you need to shut down the computer and tell an adult immediately, because that needs to be taken care of. I used the fact that, not everything you read is always true. So this is understanding that, if you go to Wikipedia and it says that George Washington wore clown shoes every day of the year, that doesn't necessarily mean it's true. So understanding that not all information is true. I think it's important that we teach these things to our students as young as we can, and keep implying it and emphasizing it as they grow up, because they're not always taught these things at home, and it's really important to get this ingrained in their heads and their minds now, to avoid any future issues of bullying or harassment, or just to promote overall safety when using the internet, because the internet can be a scary thing now with how broad it is. So I think it's important that we raise these little young minds right, and we show them what they should and shouldn't do, and make it very clear, and let there be no hidden guidelines along the way. Okie dokie, so there you have it. There's the things I think are important to remember whenever you're a teacher using technology in your classroom, and things to keep in mind. And then there's the things I think that students should know, in the I know statements, and that we should teach our students no matter the age. So I hope that it was interesting, and I hope that you could take away some things and use them in your own classroom, or whatever you want to do with them. So thanks for watching. Have a good day.